Okay guys, heading home. I've got a few requests to do some videos on relationships, and I'm going to do these from time to time, and dating advice, things like that, stuff that I know, and I'm far from totally knowledgeable on the subject, but international marriages I've got experience on, and I've got experience listening to other people's stories as well. And there tends to be a bit of a theme, and whether this is true or not, that's up to you to ascertain. But I think there's a lot of truth in what I'm about to say. So one thing I've noticed with international marriages that have not gone well, ended in divorce, with Japanese ladies. I only know of Japanese ladies and foreigner husbands. Whenever I've asked the guy if he knew what her father did for a living, the question is always no. And I ask this question for a reason, and the reason is, if he doesn't know, that means his wife has never talked about her father and what he did for a living. So the takeaway from this, that I take away from it, is they've never had much interest in their father and what their father was doing and their father's struggles and what it was like to be a man with a family and things like this. So if they don't understand that, the chances are they haven't understood you. So that's why I asked that question, and they sort of think, why would you ask a question like that? And that's just so I know sort of possibly the character of the lady that they married. So if they have a international husband and they're working in Japan, this is true. It's absolutely terrible place to be an employee, and most foreigners are employees. They're not self-employed. So they've had to put up with all the shenanigans of working in a Japanese company. So what's naturally going to happen is they're going to go home and they're going to have a whinge about it. And they've grown up in an environment where their fathers come home and never whinged because that's their default. And all of a sudden they've got a husband that's in their eyes acting like a baby, even though they've got legitimate complaints because they're coming from a different culture. And to put the cherry on top, they don't have a genuine interest in what their husband's doing for work, and that's because they've never had a genuine interest ever, not even in what their father did. So knowing just how much and how well a woman speaks about their father here, if you're going to marry a Japanese lady, I think that can't be overlooked at all. If you met a Japanese lady and she talks about her father in glowing terms and supportive and doesn't bring him down and say bad things, that's how she's going to treat you. And if they've had no interest in what their father did, and the father's just a bit of background noise, just someone who left in the morning and came home at night with some money and whatever, that's what she's going to view you as, because that's the way her mother's viewed the husband as well. Because if she knows nothing about the husband, it's because her mother hasn't told about her father. That's also because her mother hasn't filled her in on what a great guy he is as well. So that's an all-round bad situation in my view. If your potential partner is sort of in the dark on these sort of things, it's a red flag in my view. So in the case of myself, my wife's father, he used to build roads. He was a contractor for building roads. So he's a bit of a no-nonsense guy. And my wife always used to talk well about her father, and still does. So no matter what job I take on, doesn't matter what I've done in my life, picking fruit, chefing, security, whatever I've done, she's respected the fact that her husband's doing his best, and that's what matters. It's not so much the amount of money brought in, it's a respect thing. If their father never whinged, their brothers never whinged, the people around them never whinged, everybody they're around never whinges, but their husband whinges, guess what? You're the odd one out. So the problem is you. That's how it's perceived. And in my experience, blokes are getting more whingier every year, getting more sensitive and all this sort of stuff. And it's on the increase in the West. That's what I've found. I've worked with a lot of people that they look, especially in security, they look like they're big tough men and stuff like this, but they just act like women sometimes, with their whinging and carrying on and talking behind people's backs and all this sort of stuff. It's just not how it's done here. Another tip, this is just something I've noticed throughout my time. A lot of really pretty women, so of course guys chase after pretty women. If you are dating a really pretty woman, you're lucky enough to have a really pretty woman, and you go out with her friends and stuff. If all her friends are supermodels, you're getting yourself involved with someone who's totally shallow. They don't have a variety of friends, so they're sort of choosing their friends as a fashion, and this indicates that they have low IQ. They're not. They're childish. So just be careful with the pretty ones. You want character first. So if you're just chasing the pretty ones and they're all sort of in these pretty girl cliques and things like that, you need to stay away. That's crocodile infested waters. That nothing's good is ever going to come out of that. Somebody who is shallow like that, who chooses their friends on physical appearance, that's how they're going to choose their husbands. And when you get a bit overweight in your 40s, and someone else is looking at them with fluttering eyes, guess what, pal? You're gone. And that's something else I've noticed. So here's another free Steve dating tip, which was told to me by a family member, and this is so true, and I don't care what anyone says. Look at the lady's hands, and if her nails are really long, there's a meaning there, and the meaning is they don't intend to do a lot of work around the house. So if they've got long fingernails, but they're those glue-on ones, that's not an issue. But somebody who grows their nails out really long and pays to get all the services done on their nails, they're not intending to put in any elbow grease around the house and whatever, rolling their sleeves up. So you just have to know that this is the person you're going to marry. So even though it looks really nice, ladies with beautiful long nails and things like that, there's a consequence for you in a long-term marriage. You're going to be doing a lot more things. They're going to be a little more work adverse, and you're going to resent it. And once you start resenting things, your partner's going to realise that, and it's a slippery slope. So that's just Steve's 2 cent free advice on dating is ladies with really long natural nails, unless you're a really rich guy and you can afford to pay people to do work that you don't have time to do and stuff like that, I'd avoid that totally. So if you're out in Japan and you've got a friend and he's got a girlfriend or whatever, and he said, oh, you should come along, my girlfriend, all her friends are hot, don't go. And he's in for a world of hurt down the track. So you can either tell him this or not. He might be having the time of his life. He might not even take your advice. But long fingernails and only having supermodel girlfriends, they're also red flags. How they talk about their father, nails, and their friends. Not much more I can say on that. And as always, hope you like the video.
Let's go home.